Hello everybody, Mike Vonbeardingham here, and today I'm going to talk to you about the Elegato Stream Deck. Now for anybody who does live streaming, I would recommend this straight off the bat anyway. It's a fantastic little unit, the interface is great. For live streaming to be able to change your sources, clicking record, turning record on and off, bringing in different elements as you're streaming is just invaluable. But that's not what I want to talk about today in regarding to what this thing can do. What I want to talk about is how this thing can just speed up your general sort of workflow immeasurably by the other functions that this little baby can do. So the first thing, here, wherever my finger is, this is the Elegato Stream Deck. As you can see, we have 15 programmable keys, and within each of those you can create folders and subfolders. So the options are pretty much limitless to what you can have. Now what I tend to use this for, as you can see here, I have 4 screens. And when I'm working, I'm generally using a lot of open windows and a lot of open folders, constantly flitting between things. And when I'm trying to work on a specific project and having to go here, there and everywhere to drag all the elements in for what I need can be a real ball ache. So I use this little kitty as a really fast way to speed up my workflow and have everything where I need it straight away. So I'm going to show you how I use it. So here is our little interface that comes with the Stream Deck. As you can see, you've got it mirrors exactly what is on here. So whatever changes you make here will change on here in real time. So for example, if I go into my broadcast one here, so I'll press the button, ding. Because I use so many things during a broadcast as I stream on multiple platforms, I need a lot of screens and tabs and things open at once. And having to go to all the websites and all that kind of thing can just take up valuable time. So you can use the Elegato Stream Deck as basically a shortcut and hotkey pad. So from here, I can just go open all of these just by pressing the button, like so. And as you can see, everything is popping up all over the place. And everything's there exactly when I need it. As you can see, it speeds everything up just massively. So if we close all those down. So I'm going to show you how I set this up. And there's a few sort of little things that you can do to make life easier for yourself. So the first thing, how to create a folder. Go to the Elegato app here. You can't actually see, which is annoying. But so we right click on one of the empty bits and I create a folder. I might actually shift that over a bit. Hang on so you can see. There we go. Right, I'm going to pop that up there for now. Might even no, I'm not going to shrink it. I'll leave it. Right, so here is where I am working. There we go. There you can see. So I've right-clicked and created a folder. Now I can go into that. I can name that folder whatever I want. So let's call it test for now. And then we go into the folder. Now here is where I can bring in all my different elements for whatever I want to use. So what we use is the system section here. And we can bring in websites, hotkey switches, hotkeys, like opening programs, text, multimedia. The main thing I use, or things I use, are websites and the open tool. So if I bring in a website, for example, I click, drag it into an empty space, enter the title, and then you go and find your website address, add it in, and then, as if by magic, whenever you press that button, it will immediately go to that website. Fantastic. Right, now the other thing we can do is we can change the icon. Now, this is what I tend to do, is I have some folders which have shortcuts to programs, and I have a folder for icons, just so everything is in folders that are easily accessible for when you need them. So if I click on here, set from file or create new icon. Now, the create new icon is really, really handy. If you click on that, ping, That will take us to a website, which I shall drag over here so you can see. Right, I can't actually see my OBS screen, so I'm just going to have to presume that you can see what I'm doing. Right, actually, yeah, let's leave that there. Now, on this page, you can compose your icon. You can change the background color. You can have a little icon, any of these icons here. You can have it in layers. You can have text. You can bring in your own images, which I use for things like, say, YouTube. But, I mean, this has got so many different icons here anyway. You're probably bound to find what you need in here. Yeah, you can see, look, we've got Facebook, Periscope, Facebook, Pinterest, all these different icons you can choose. So you're sport for choice, really. And you just save it. It will save it as a PNG file. And then all you do after that, set from file. And then you find, this is my Stream Deck icon folder. So I've got like my website here, Vonbeardingham. I saved a little PNG of that, which you can do up in here. You can shrink the picture, you can change it, you can do whatever you want. So if I click open, there, you can now see it's used my website picture for the icon. So whenever I click on that, ping, I will go to whatever website address I have put in here. So let's delete that. And let's close that down so we can all see what's going on. Ah, there we are. Right, one of the other things I use it for, which is really, really handy, is opening programs. Now, all I do is click the open, drag it in, give it a title, whatever you want to call it. There we go. It's a beautiful title if ever I've seen one. Now, what we do here is we now have to find the file we want to open. Now, there's several ways you can do this. You can go and find the exact file, or you can create a hotkey to the file and store it in a folder. So what I do here, if I bring this one over here so you can see, this is my folder shortcuts for Stream Deck. Now, all of these are just shortcuts that I've made on my desktop or my PC. And what I can do with these is, say, for example, I want to go to my Google Drive, or I've got my audiobooks folder. And the great thing about this is you can go to folders as well. It doesn't have to be just programs. So I tend to use folders a lot, obviously. So that is what I like to go to. So if I go to, say, my music folder, I've made a hotkey to go to my music folder. So I just click and drag that. No, that doesn't work. That's not what I was thinking. Right, so I have to open that. And I have to go to my folder where I've got all my shortcuts. Just trying the Dropbox folder for shortcuts. There we go. Right, so I shall double click on that one. There we go. That is now set in there. So what happens if I now press that button? Ding. It opens up my music folder. That simple. And it's just such a good way of just navigating around your PC with the most minimum of fuss. So if we have a look at some of the presets that I've done, just so I can show you as an example. So if I go to design, here I've got, for my different things that I use, so I've got Photoshop, so I've got a shortcut hotkey going to, well, not hotkey, but a shortcut going to Photoshop, Premiere Pro, Creative Cloud, and Corel as well. I've also got Google Chrome in case I need to, I've got my website for Google Chrome, so that will go up, and if I need to take any images for online. I've also got folders that I can open for all my different projects. So for example, if I press downloads, that goes to my download folder. Photoshop goes to my Photoshop projects. So everything I need is just in one place. It's brilliant. I've got, if I'm doing my backing up, different music players, if I'm building scenes in OBS, if I'm sorting out my gigs for my band, I think, all my shortcuts, I've made a file for the shortcuts, so you can see here. I've labelled these sort of yellowy orange, so I know that they're for folders. So if I click on that, that'll take me to my shortcuts. Like so. Let's come out of that. and it's so easy to set up, and it just means that you've got everything at your fingertips straight away for whatever you are needing to do. So, I want to edit a broadcast that I did earlier. So I go, right, I need YouTube, Twitch, and Periscope. Press those 3 buttons. Bang, they come up in their tabs. I've got my other video folders I need. There we go. Straight away, everything is there. So for me, it's sped everything up. I can't describe how much better this has made my workflow. So these aren't cheap. They are about 125 quid, I think. You can get like a jumbo version, which is even bigger, with more keys. But I found this just works brilliantly. I wouldn't say you need the bigger version unless you're doing a lot, maybe during live streams but because you can create subfolders, it's very easy. Like with me here, if I go to my broadcast settings, I've got all my main things I need to trigger off. Then I can go to my OBS, and there I've got some scenes that I need, and then I can just jump back. So really, really simple, but I would thoroughly recommend this to anybody who is using lots of screens and who's just getting annoyed and bored of having to traipse around your PC trying to find stuff, even for things like where is it? File. Like if I go click on file backups. Now what I've done here, I've got my Dropbox folder shortcut. So if I press that, that'll take me to different sort of different folders for different things that I need. So a lot of the time I will have the same thing in different folders, just so that it happens to be near to hand. So for example, even though I've got, say, like Dropbox in there, I might have another project in here, and I'll be working in here and think, well, I want to access Dropbox nice and quickly when I'm working in this setting. So you just drag it in there. Just make everything as easily accessible for you as possible. So that's all really. I just wanted to share that with you guys. Anybody got any questions, just hit me up, let me know. I'm always willing to help anybody, providing you're nice, not if you're an arse. But yeah, so I hope that's of some help to you guys. Let me know, and I shall see you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.